Hi everyone, I thought I would do a quick vlog. I just got back from training. Today's Sunday and I just do conditioning typically on Sundays. So my Sundays are usually my busiest work day in terms of my clients checking in, and then I also go to church. So it tends to be a pretty packed day. So usually I just like to get to the gym and do my conditioning workouts, and today ended up being both prowlers and sprints. That's what I've been doing recently on my one conditioning day per week. My other cardio is generally low intensity walking or biking, but then usually 1 to 2 days per week I really enjoy getting to the gym and doing something more athletic, like athletic training. It really takes me back to my track days. I used to be a competitive track runner back in high school, and actually suffered an injury and couldn't run in college, and that's how I got into bodybuilding initially, but I won't get into that. But something that I wanted to discuss is prep. And as many of you guys may know, I am currently in prep right now for a couple fall pro shows, and I will be competing in the WNBF and also in the OCB Pro. I have 3 shows lined up right now that I'm planning on competing in. And I am currently 13 weeks out from my first show, so things are rolling right along, but obviously prep isn't like an easy thing. Your body doesn't necessarily want to lose fat, and you have to be in a caloric deficit in order to lose fat. You have to adhere to your training, you have to do your cardio, you have to make sure you're hitting your macros. Usually in a prep season, I'm pretty particular about, just weighing out my food, making sure I'm being exact, because I don't want there to be any sort of margin or room for error when I'm checking with my coach. So I've been working with Cliff Wilson for the past month or so. We've been working together for the last 4 weeks of my prep. So I lost about, I think it was about 9 pounds on my own before I started working with Cliff. And then since I've been working with Cliff, I've lost an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 pounds. So things have been rolling along really well. I'm down to about 147 pounds I was up to about 162 pounds in my off season at my heaviest. I think it was maybe 163 at 5'7". I started dieting back in April, so April, May, June, and now July. So I've been dieting for about 3.5 months probably, and lost about 15 pounds approximately. So it's definitely been a journey. It's the best that any sort of caloric deficit has ever gone, and I would attribute that to what I want to talk about in this vlog: your mental perspective about whatever endeavor it is that you are pursuing. So for me right now, I'm not dieting on the highest amount of calories that I've ever dieted on. I'm not dieting on the lowest amount of cardio, and I think a lot of times people associate your joy in the process with, well, I'm dieting on the most amount of calories. Sure, that's a factor. If you're dieting on more calories, my calories aren't extremely low. They're, relatively high in terms of prep calories, and I'm able to really focus on nutrient timing too. That's been something huge that Cliff is big on, in terms of supplementation around my workouts and making sure that I'm getting sufficient carbs pre-workout, and then also drinking some carbs intra-workout. That has been something that has helped me a lot sustain energy during my workouts, and also being really mindful of when I'm timing my caffeine. That's been helpful in general on my lifting days. So now of course there's days when I'm struggling a little bit and I need a little bit more caffeine, but really making sure that I'm paying attention to the small details, because when you're in a caloric deficit, and also too, you're prepping for something like a figure show. This is going to be my pro debut. I'm giving it 100%, and I really want to pay attention to the small details because those things do add up. So I've been more mindful about meal spacing. Of course, overall I'm just adhering to daily macros, but I'm trying to get in more meals per day, so I'm sustaining my energy better as opposed to going a little bit too long in between meals, which is what I tended to do in the past. I just tend to kind of get lazy with meal timing and then wait 5 hours, and then all of a sudden I kind of crash. So So being more diligent about that, I really want to give it my all. I feel as though I've been blessed with this opportunity to pursue this prep season. I came off of the Arnold with over 1,000 total and a Wilks PR, and that was like a huge, I mean, that was the best meet I've ever had. I went 9 for 9 at the Arnold and you know, hit that 424 deadlift, which was honestly like all I wanted to hit in that meet because I have been gunning for it since last year. But you know, coming off of that meet, I just had it in my heart that I wanted to do something different. My background is in bodybuilding, and I really felt this pull after praying about it and after just thinking about it and, you know, meditating over some different things and really just giving it up to God, and whatever direction I felt led in, I would go in that direction. And I just felt like God said it's time to, you know, get back to this process. And it's something that I've missed. I've missed the prep process in terms of being dedicated to the process and then seeing physical changes along the way. It's been a while since I've prepped, but going into this, my mental perspective has been different than it has been in the past. And something that I want to talk about is what type of perspective do you have? If you are in a prep, even if you're not in a caloric deficit, it's going to make training a little bit harder, obviously, because you're not going to have as much energy. But even if you're prepping for a powerlifting meet or, you know, nationals this year, I have a lot of friends who are prepping for nationals for powerlifting. What is your mindset? Are you choosing to have a negative glass half empty perspective, or are you really trying to be diligent about being positive? So I don't think positivity is something that people are inherently just gifted with. It's a skill that you have to develop, and one of the ways to develop that skill is to have a positive perspective. And I think to realize that if you're prepping for something like a bodybuilding show, a lot of people that I know right now are in, you know, heavy into their, or kind of deep into their preps. It's an opportunity. It's a blessing. And so I've mentioned before, I've seen a lot of just people I know, and also myself in the past. I have kind of had this victim mentality during prep or during a prep for any sort of athletic event. I've been involved in athletics for a while, and this can apply to anything. This isn't just athletics, but I'm speaking on it from an athletic perspective just because that's what probably most of my viewers are watching for. But when people start to, or myself, I have done this, so I can speak from experience, have a victim mentality of, prep so hard, the world's against me, like I'm tired, I'm hungry, and then you start lashing out at your friends and your family, and you start treating people poorly, and you know, using kind of hunger or, you know, oh, I have to do my cardio as like an excuse to treat people poorly. And the first thing that comes to my mind when I just think about this is a song by Hillsong, and it's called The Greatest of These Is Love. And it talks about all these accomplishments that we could have if we could change the world, or do some, you know, give all our money to the poor. We could go on mission trips, or give up our lives for a cause. But if we don't have love, we have nothing. Literally, we have nothing. If you're just doing this for a selfish interest and just to have a certain physical look, and that's the only reason you're doing a prep, then it's likely not going to be fulfilling for you at all. It's likely going to be a process that you come to dislike. For me, I have found if I'm solely focused on an outcome, whether this can be applied to your job, to anything, to a relationship. If you are just looking to the outcome, you're not going to be satisfied with the process, because you're not going to have a good perspective because you're just focused on the end. So if you are keeping that perspective of, you know, the greatest of these is love. The reason I say that is because something like a prep, or, you know, since I'm in a bodybuilding prep, it is your choice. And just because you choose something that might be a little bit difficult, it's an awesome opportunity. And it can really be a testament to your dedication and to your focus, and how, for me, how God has worked in my life and the gifts that He has given me. And I want to use my gifts and my abilities in order to reach and inspire others. And if I am just solely focused on me, and I'm forgetting to love others in the process and inspire others, and really I'm getting away from the root of my purpose, and my purpose is to make a difference. And God gives us abilities no matter what it is. He gives us gifts, He gives us talents, He gives us spiritual gifts. And one of my, I believe one of my spiritual gifts, I've been reading a book on spiritual gifts, is encouragement. And because I kind of come alive, like when I'm able to talk to someone who's gone through some similar struggles as me, or that I can relate to, I really feel passionate, and it excites me, and I want to help others. So figure out, like, what are those gifts that you've been given? What are those abilities that you have that you can use in order to make a greater impact? And so avoid the victim mentality and the victim mentality in reality is just self-focus. And so if we can step away from just that soul, it's all about me, the world revolves around me, and look at it from, you know, I can use this process in order to reach others and inspire others and help others see what's possible. I think that is such an awesome perspective to have. So I just wanted to make this video to encourage you guys to think about things from that perspective, and I have to remind myself of that every single day. That's why I've been reading a lot recently, and I've been listening to sermons, I've been going to church more, I've been going to Bible studies, because I need to constantly be rooted in the Word, and also rooted in positivity. I have to fill my mind with positivity in order to stay positive, and it's a skill that you have to develop. It's not, and it's something you have to keep working on. It's not just an automatic thing. So so for me, that has been huge during this prep, and that's something that I've really been focusing on, and I think has helped me. So I wanted to share with you guys a little car vlog. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I hope you guys are having a really great weekend. It's beautiful here in Columbus, Ohio, and the weather has just been amazing. We had a couple crappy weeks of weather, but it's just been absolutely gorgeous the past couple days, and today I just have had such a wonderful morning. I was able to see one of my friends get baptized, and honestly, like, the spiritual experience at the church that I went to a church in the Short North in Columbus, Ohio. If you're from Columbus or from the area, you'd know where. You've probably heard of Rock City Church. It's in Columbus. But it just was honestly one of the most spiritual experiences I've had in like a long time. And I personally am looking, hopefully I'm going to get rebaptized this month, just because I've rededicated my life to my faith and to Christ this year. So just a symbol kind of being made new. And yeah, so that's it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this little vlog, and I will talk to you guys soon. I hope you have a great week, and I will try to make a video this week and put out a couple more. So as always, I'm on Instagram, KatyN100, and then also PowerFit Performance is my coaching Instagram. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to y'all soon.